Good morning. Welcome to the CUNA Advocacy Update. I'm Ryan Donovan, CUNA's Chief Advocacy Officer. It's August 17th, 2020. Here are three things you need to know about credit union advocacy this week. CUNA strongly opposes the new GSE fee. Democrats will nominate former Vice President Joe Biden as their candidate for president. The House of Representatives returns to session to investigate changes to the Postal Service. Last week, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac announced a new fee, an adverse market fee of 50 basis points on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac refinanced mortgages. This fee is going to raise costs for families trying to make ends meet during these challenging times, and it conflicts with the administration's recent executive action urging federal agencies to take all measures within their authority to support struggling homeowners. Most concerning, perhaps, is that this fee is set to be imposed on September 1st. So CUNA wrote to Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Mark Calabria, and we joined a broad coalition of organizations representing housing, financial services, as well as public interest groups to issue a statement calling for this fee to be withdrawn. In addition to the concerns expressed by CUNA, members of Congress and senior administration officials have also expressed concern. And it's this type of pressure that's going to be essential to getting FHFA and the GSEs to either delay or withdraw this new fee. As we all know, Democrats will meet virtually this week to nominate Joe Biden for President of the United States. And this is a good time to remind everybody that despite our very significant political presence, CUNA and our PAC don't make endorsements in presidential elections. The good news is that whatever the outcome of the election, credit unions are going to have leaders in the White House who have a history of being supportive of a not-for-profit cooperative financial services option in the United States. Certainly over the last 3.5 years, President Trump and his administration have been supportive of credit unions through their efforts to reduce regulatory burden and the efforts to expand credit union powers and opportunities. Vice President Pence has been a longtime supporter of credit unions. Vice President Biden was supportive of banking and bankruptcy reform that benefited credit unions when he was in Congress. And Senator Kamala Harris is a co-sponsor of our member business lending legislation and has been supportive of efforts to expand CDFI opportunities. This week, the House of Representatives will return from its August recess to investigate recent changes at the United States Postal Service. On Saturday, the House will conduct a rare August weekend session to consider legislation suspending recent changes by the Postmaster General and returning the Postal Service to its operating status as of the beginning of the year. If only we could all return to our operating status as of the beginning of the year. Next week, the Postmaster General has been invited to testify before the House Oversight and Investigation Committee. This is an important issue for credit unions to follow because a degradation of the Postal Service could impact the ability of credit unions to communicate with their members, particularly during these challenging times. There are no comment letters due this week, but next week we'll be submitting a comment on a CFPB proposal related to advisory opinions. And finally, as a reminder, we remain engaged in discussions on the next round of COVID recovery legislation, which at this point doesn't look like it'll come together until September. That's it for this week. Thank you for taking some time to join me for the advocacy update. I hope you found it helpful. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, and I hope you have a great week.